want to talk about something that happened this weekend that I didn't expect to feel as big as it did. I went to the zoo. That sounds simple, and maybe for most people it is. But for me, yesterday was the first time in probably 20 years that I've walked 6 kilometers, 3 hours on my feet. A year ago, I wouldn't have gone. The walk from the parking lot to the entrance alone would have stopped me. Joint pain, out of breath before I even got inside, too embarrassed to be seen struggling in public. So I would just say no to the zoo, to dinner, to plans with people from my past who might see how far I'd let myself go, to anything that required me to show up physically in the world. I was existing, not living. And here's what I want you to understand because this is the part nobody talks about. The zoo wasn't possible because I lost weight. Yes, technically the walking part, sure. I lost weight because I finally started working on everything, all of it, at the same time. Not just what I eat, not just how I move my body, but my mindset, my self worth, my boundaries, the patterns that kept me stuck on the couch using food to numb out instead of actually living my life. For years, I thought the weight was the problem. Fix the weight and everything else follows. Tried so many times. But that's backwards. Every time I'd lose weight before, and I've lost 100 pounds more than once, I'd gain it all back and more every time because I hadn't touched anything underneath it. The why I was eating, the why I was hiding, the why I kept saying no to everything. This time, I worked on all of it. I stopped saying no out of fear and embarrassment. I started saying yes, even when it was uncomfortable, even when I was still heavy, even when I was scared. I worked on my relationship with food, not through restriction, but through understanding what I was actually doing when I was eating. Was I hungry or was I numbing? Was I fueling or was I punishing? I worked on my boundaries, stopped making my entire existence about other people, stopped abandoning myself to take care of everyone else, started showing up for myself the way I'd always shown up for everyone else and the way I've always wanted people to show up for me. I worked on what I was willing to accept in my life and what I wasn't. And slowly, all of that internal work started showing up externally. 117 pounds down, type 2 diabetes in remission, blood pressure normal, fatty liver healing, insulin resistance improving. And yesterday, 6 kilometers through a zoo, 3 hours on my feet, hot, out of breath at points, and absolutely refusing to quit because I finally learned something I wish I'd known 20 years ago. You cannot out exercise a broken mindset. You cannot out diet a life you're not living. You cannot lose weight permanently when everything underneath the weight hasn't shifted. But when you work on all of it, the body and the mind and the patterns and the self worth and the boundaries, everything changes. Not just the number on the scale, your entire life. So if you're watching this and you're where I was, saying no to everything, hiding, waiting until you're smaller to start living, I need you to hear this. Start living now at your current size, in your current body, with your current health conditions. Because the living is what makes the losing possible, not the other way around. That's what care in action is. Not just fitness, not just mindset work, all of it together until the zoo feels easy and saying yes feels natural to the life you've been waiting for. It is just the life. I'm not done yet. I still have lots of weight to lose. I'm a work in progress. But I went to the zoo yesterday and I walked it, and that's everything to me.